History is filled with legends that were once dismissed as fantasy, fiction, or imagination. But as time passed, science and archaeology slowly revealed something shocking. Some of those myths were actually true. Today we explore 30 historical myths that turned out to be real. Let's begin. Myth 1. The Trojan War was real. For centuries, people believed the Trojan War was only a story from Homer's Iliad. But when archaeologists uncovered the great city of Troy, they found signs of a massive war and destruction. The ancient myth had real history behind it. Up next, a myth about Vikings few believed until evidence surfaced. Myth 2. Vikings reached America before Columbus. Norse sagas told of a distant land called Vinland, but many thought it was myth. Then a Norse settlement was found in Newfoundland, proving Vikings reached America 500 years before Columbus. Next, the myth of warrior women that turned out surprisingly true. Myth 3. Amazon warrior women existed. Greek stories described the fierce Amazons, but most historians dismissed it, until DNA tests on Scythian graves revealed female warriors buried with weapons and battle injuries. Coming up, a wonder of the ancient world that might have been misplaced, not imaginary. Myth 4. The Hanging Gardens may have existed. Long dismissed as legend, the Hanging Gardens were possibly real, just not in Babylon. New evidence points to Nineveh, with advanced irrigation and terraced gardens. Next, the myth of the female pharaoh who ruled as king. Myth 5. Female pharaohs were real. Many believed Egypt was ruled only by men, but Pharaoh Hatshepsut ruled as a king, wore the royal beard, and built massive monuments. Up next, was Atlantis inspired by a real civilization? Myth 6. Atlantis and the Minoans. Plato's story of Atlantis, a rich island destroyed in a single day, mirrors the real Minoan civilization, erased by a volcanic eruption. Next, the real truth behind Nero's infamous performance during Rome's Great Fire. Myth 7. Nero performed while Rome burned. Nero didn't play a fiddle, it didn't exist. But ancient records show he did recite poetry and perform while Rome was engulfed in flames. Coming up, legendary female samurai that history forgot. Myth 8. Female samurai existed. The Onabugisha were trained female warriors in Japan, proven by weapon-filled graves identified through DNA. Next, a chilling myth about werewolves rooted in real medieval events. Myth 9. Medieval werewolf trials were real. Europe once held official trials for people accused of turning into wolves. Confessions, executions, and fear-filled courts, all recorded in history. Up next, a frightening omen that science finally explained. Myth 10. Blood rain actually happened. Ancient writings describe red-colored rain falling from the sky. Today, science explains it. Dust and spores in the atmosphere turned rain red, creating an eerie illusion. Coming up, a mythic giant bird based on a real creature. Myth 11. The rock inspired by real giant birds. The rock of legend was exaggerated, but the massive Epiornis, the elephant bird, was real, towering over humans. Next, the surprising truth behind dragon myths. Myth 12. Dragons came from dinosaur fossils. Ancient civilizations found giant prehistoric bones without knowing about dinosaurs. Naturally, they imagined dragons. Up next, the real inspiration for the Fountain of Youth myth. Myth 13. The Fountain of Youth was a real healing spring. Explorers sought magical waters that granted eternal life, but the myth came from natural mineral springs believed to cure illness. Next, a myth about gladiators that flips modern assumptions. Myth 14. Gladiators were mostly vegetarian. Bone analysis shows gladiators ate grain-heavy plant-based diets to build endurance and heal faster. Coming up, ancient brain surgery that actually worked. Myth 15. Ancient brain surgery was real. Trepanation skulls show carefully carved holes and many survivors. Ancient healers practiced early neurosurgery with surprising success. Next, a myth about medieval cleanliness that isn't fully accurate. Myth 16. Medieval people weren't always filthy. Bathhouses, herbal soaps, and grooming tools were common in medieval towns. The myth of total filth is exaggerated. Up next, the truth behind pirate earrings. Myth 17. Pirates wore earrings for vision and burial. Pirates believed gold earrings improved eyesight and ensured a proper burial. A myth rooted in real custom. Coming up, ninjas and the myth of disappearing in smoke. Myth 18. Ninjas really used smoke bombs. Shinobi used smoke devices to distract enemies in battle. Not magic, just smart tactics. Next, the legendary city that was found underwater. Myth 19. Heracleion was a real sunken city. Once thought simply a legend, the Egyptian port of Heracleion was rediscovered underwater with temples and colossal statues. Up next, the truth behind King Arthur. Myth 20. King Arthur was based on a real warrior. Early texts describe a British war leader named Arthur who fought Saxons. His real-life deeds sparked centuries of legend. Next, the real creature behind mermaid sightings. Myth 21. Mermaids were mistaken manatees. Sailors, exhausted and half-starved, mistook manatees for mermaids in the distance. A myth born from fatigue and imagination. Coming up, a Roman building material that seemed supernatural. Myth 22. Roman concrete was magic. Their volcanic ash concrete grows stronger over time, especially in seawater, something modern concrete can't easily replicate. Next, a myth about reshaping skulls that turned out to be true. Myth 23. Skull shaping was real in ancient cultures. The Maya, Inca, and others reshaped infants' skulls as a mark of beauty and social status. Up next, a global voyage that surprised historians. Myth 24. Chinese explorers reached Africa. Admiral Zheng He's massive fleets traveled to India, Arabia, and East Africa long before European voyages. Next, a creature that can restart its life cycle. Myth 25. The immortal jellyfish exists. Teratopsis dohrnii can revert its adult cells to a youthful state and begin life again. Not fantasy, biology. Coming up, the truth behind tomb curses. Myth 26. Egyptian tomb curses had real deadly effects. Toxic mold spores, gases, and structural dangers in tombs caused illness and death, fueling myths of supernatural curses. Next, a surprising truth about Viking appearance. Myth 27. Vikings wore makeup. Archaeological tools and writings show Vikings used eyeliner to reduce glare and enhance appearance. Up next, a culture whose rituals blurred the line between man and jaguar. Myth 28. Olmec were jaguar transformations. Olmec priests wore jaguar skins and masks during rituals, symbolically becoming jaguars. Coming up, one of the wildest battlefield myths that actually happened. Myth 29. War elephants were real armies in India, and Carthage used armored war elephants, and Hannibal famously crossed the Alps with them. Next, a terrifying mythic weapon that truly existed. Myth 30. Greek fire was a real flamethrower. Byzantine soldiers used a mysterious liquid fire that ignited even on water. It was projected through bronze pressure tubes, essentially a primitive flamethrower. The formula was so secret that it was lost to history, which is why the weapon grew into a terrifying legend. And that brings us to the end of our journey. These myths remind us of something important. History isn't simply facts written in books. It's a living story full of surprises. Some legends fade away, but others reveal truths that were hidden for centuries. The more we explore the past, the more we discover that myths aren't always fiction. Sometimes they're pieces of real history waiting to be uncovered. If you enjoyed this journey through 30 historical myths that turned out to be true, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which myth shocked you the most? And if you want a part 2 with more unbelievable myths that turned out to be real, just let me know. Thanks for watching. And remember, history is full of secrets, and the truth is often stranger than the myth.